What if the easiest vegetables to grow were the ones you've been pulling out and throwing away? Imagine a garden where food grows like weeds. No fertilizers, no fuss, just nature doing the work for you. These aren't weeds at all. They're forgotten vegetables, the resilient crops our ancestors relied on. And they might just be the lazy gardener's goldmine. Modern gardening often feels like a battle. Constant watering, fertilizers, pesticides, and endless care. But what if I told you there are vegetables that laugh at neglect, thrive in poor soil, and come back year after year without you lifting a finger? These are the forgotten champions of the garden, plants that grow like weeds, yet feed you like kings. And if you're passionate about transforming your outdoor space into a living pantry, make sure you subscribe to Root and Bloom. This is where we uncover nature's hidden treasures and turn gardens into sanctuaries, one plant at a time. Hit that bell icon so you never miss our next green inspiration. Purslane is one of those plants most gardeners dismiss as a nuisance, pulling it out without a second thought. Yet, hidden in its fleshy leaves is a treasure trove of nutrition and resilience. This humble weed thrives in the harshest conditions: cracks in sidewalks, dry patches of soil, even neglected corners of your backyard. Unlike delicate crops that demand constant care, purslane grows with abandon, spreading quickly and offering a steady supply of food without effort. Nutritionally, it's astonishing. Purslane contains more omega-3 fatty acids than almost any other leafy vegetable, making it a natural ally for heart health. It's also rich in vitamins A, C, and E, plus essential minerals like magnesium and potassium. Its crisp, slightly lemony flavor makes it perfect for salads, stir-fries, or even as a garnish to brighten up a dish. Historically, purslane was valued by ancient civilizations from the Middle East to India, where it was cultivated intentionally as a survival food. Today, rediscovering purslane means embracing a plant that grows like a weed but nourishes like a superfood. For the lazy gardener, it's a gift. No watering schedule, no fertilizers, just a resilient green that insists on thriving. Lamb's quarters is often dismissed as a stubborn weed, but in truth, it's one of the most nutritious greens you can grow, or rather allow to grow. Known as wild spinach, this plant thrives without any care, popping up in disturbed soil, compost piles, and neglected corners of the garden. For the lazy gardener, it's a blessing. No sowing, no watering, no fertilizing, yet it rewards you with tender leaves that rival spinach in both taste and nutrition. Nutritionally, lamb's quarters is a powerhouse. It's rich in protein, calcium, iron, and vitamins A and C. Its leaves are soft, slightly salty, and earthy, making them perfect for salads, sautés, or even blended into smoothies. Unlike cultivated spinach, which can bolt quickly in hot weather, lamb's quarters thrives in summer heat, ensuring a steady supply of greens when other crops fail. Historically, this plant was a staple food across Europe and North America, valued for its resilience and abundance. Farmers once relied on it as a dependable green during lean times. Today, rediscovering lamb's quarters means embracing a plant that grows like a weed but nourishes like a cultivated crop. For anyone seeking effortless gardening, lamb's quarters is proof that sometimes the best food is the one nature plants for you. Amaranth is a plant that wears two crowns. One is a leafy green and another is a grain. For centuries, it was a staple in ancient civilizations like the Aztecs, who revered it not only as food, but also as a symbol of resilience. Today, it's often overlooked, yet it remains one of the most forgiving crops a gardener can grow. Amaranth thrives in poor soil, tolerates drought, and flourishes in hot climates where many traditional vegetables struggle. For the lazy gardener, it's a dream come true. Plant it once, and it rewards you with abundance. Its leaves are tender and packed with vitamins A and C, calcium, and iron. They can be cooked like spinach or added raw to salads for a slightly earthy flavor. But the real magic lies in its seeds. tiny grains that are gluten-free, protein-rich, and versatile. They can be popped like popcorn, cooked into porridge, or ground into flour for baking. This dual purpose makes amaranth a survival food, offering both leafy greens and a grain harvest from the same plant. With its striking red and green foliage, amaranth also adds beauty to the garden. It's proof that forgotten vegetables can be both ornamental and practical, thriving with minimal care while feeding you in multiple ways. Nettles are one of those plants that most people avoid because of their sting, yet they are among the most nutrient-dense greens you can grow, or rather, allow to grow. This hardy perennial thrives in damp, neglected corners of the garden, often appearing uninvited. For the lazy gardener, nettles are a gift. They require no care, spread naturally, and return year after year. Nutritionally, nettles are a powerhouse. They're loaded with iron, calcium, magnesium, and protein, making them an excellent tonic for energy and bone health. They also contain vitamins A, C, and K, offering a complete package of nourishment. The sting, which comes from tiny hairs on the leaves, disappears once the plant is cooked, dried, or blended. A quick boil or sauté transforms nettles into a delicious, spinach-like green. Historically, nettles were used across Europe as both food and medicine. They were brewed into teas for vitality, cooked into soups, and even used as a fiber for cloth. Today, rediscovering nettles means embracing a plant that grows like a weed but nourishes like a superfood. With their resilience and abundance, nettles remind us that sometimes the most overlooked plants are the ones that can sustain us best. Miner's lettuce is a delicate yet resilient green that earned its name during the California Gold Rush, when miners relied on it to survive harsh winters. Growing wild in shaded, cool areas, this plant is proof that forgotten vegetables can be both practical and delicious. Unlike many crops that demand sunlight and rich soil, miner's lettuce thrives in places most gardeners overlook, under trees, along fences, or in damp corners. For the lazy gardener, it's a hidden gem. No sowing, no fuss, just a carpet of crisp, edible leaves that return year after year. Its round, succulent leaves have a mild, refreshing flavor, often compared to baby spinach, but with a unique crunch. Nutritionally, miner's lettuce is rich in vitamin C, which is why it saved miners from scurvy. It also contains iron and antioxidants, making it a nourishing addition to salads, sandwiches, or even lightly steamed as a side dish. Beyond its taste and nutrition, miner's lettuce is visually striking. Its circular leaves with tiny flowers in the center look ornamental, adding charm to any garden. Rediscovering this plant means embracing a vegetable that grows like a weed, feeds like a superfood, and decorates your garden naturally, all without demanding your attention. Jerusalem artichokes, also called sunchokes, are the definition of a lazy gardener's dream. Plant them once, and they'll reward you with harvests for years to come. These hardy tubers spread underground, multiplying season after season, often so vigorously that they can take over a patch of soil if left unchecked. But for someone who wants food security without constant effort, that's not a problem. It's a goldmine. The tubers themselves resemble knobby potatoes, but their flavor is nutty, sweet, and slightly earthy. They can be roasted, mashed, or even eaten raw for a crisp, refreshing crunch. Nutritionally, they're rich in iron, potassium, and inulin, a natural prebiotic that supports gut health. Unlike traditional potatoes, Jerusalem artichokes thrive in poor soil and don't demand fertilizers or pesticides. They're drought-tolerant, resilient, and forgiving of neglect. Historically, Native Americans cultivated them as a staple food, and European settlers quickly adopted them for their reliability. Today, they remain a forgotten vegetable, overshadowed by more commercial crops. Rediscovering Jerusalem artichokes means embracing a plant that grows like a weed, feeds abundantly, and keeps coming back year after year. For the lazy gardener, it's not just a vegetable. It's a self-renewing pantry beneath the soil. Groundnut, also known as Apis americana, is a forgotten treasure that once sustained Native American communities for centuries. Unlike the peanut we know today, this groundnut is a perennial vine that produces clusters of protein-rich tubers underground. What makes it remarkable for the lazy gardener is its ability to thrive in poor soil, spread naturally, and return year after year without replanting. Once established, it becomes a self-renewing food source that asks for almost nothing in return. Nutritionally, groundnut is exceptional. Its tubers are rich in protein, nearly 3 times more than potatoes, and also contain iron, calcium, and complex carbohydrates. This makes it not only filling but also nourishing, a true survival food. The flavor is nutty and earthy, often compared to a cross between peanuts and potatoes. They can be roasted, boiled, or mashed, and the vines themselves are edible too, adding versatility to the plant. Historically, groundnut was a staple in Native American diets and later adopted by early European settlers who relied on it during harsh winters. Sadly, it fell out of favor as commercial crops took over. Rediscovering groundnut today means embracing a plant that grows like a weed, nourishes like a superfood, and connects us to a resilient food tradition that thrived long before modern agriculture. Yacon is a forgotten root vegetable that feels almost magical once you discover it. Native to the Andes, this plant produces long, sweet, crunchy tubers that look a bit like potatoes but taste more like apples or pears. For the lazy gardener, yacon is a dream crop. It grows vigorously, tolerates poor soil, and requires very little care once established. Plant it once, and by the end of the season, you'll be rewarded with a generous harvest of roots that can be eaten raw or cooked. What makes yacon truly special is its nutritional profile. The tubers are rich in inulin, a natural prebiotic fiber that supports gut health and digestion. They're low in calories yet naturally sweet, making them a healthy alternative to sugary snacks. You can slice them fresh into salads, roast them for a caramelized flavor, or even turn them into syrup for natural sweetening. Historically, yacon was a staple food for indigenous communities in South America, valued for its ability to grow abundantly without demanding attention. Today, it's still relatively unknown outside its native regions, which makes it a hidden gem for gardeners seeking resilient crops. Rediscovering yacon means embracing a vegetable that grows like a weed, nourishes like a superfood, and adds sweetness to your garden harvest without effort. Skirret is one of those vegetables that feels like it belongs in a medieval fairy tale. Once a staple in Europe during the Middle Ages, this root crop has nearly vanished from modern gardens, yet remains one of the easiest and most rewarding plants to grow. For the lazy gardener, skirret is a hidden treasure. It thrives in poor soil, tolerates neglect, and produces clusters of sweet, white roots year after year. The flavor of skirret is mild, sweet, and slightly nutty, often compared to parsnips, but with a more delicate taste. Its roots can be roasted, boiled, or mashed, and they absorb flavors beautifully, making them versatile in the kitchen. Nutritionally, skirret offers fiber, vitamins, and minerals, providing a wholesome addition to any meal. Because it's a perennial, once planted, it continues to produce without needing resowing, making it a true plant once, harvest forever vegetable. Historically, skirret was prized in royal kitchens and common households alike, valued for its reliability and taste. Over time, it was overshadowed by potatoes and carrots, but its resilience never faded. Rediscovering skirret today means reconnecting with a forgotten food tradition and embracing a vegetable that grows like a weed, nourishes abundantly, and asks for almost nothing in return. Chinese artichoke, also known as cross-du Japon, is a small but mighty root vegetable that has been largely forgotten outside of gourmet kitchens. For the lazy gardener, it's a hidden treasure. This plant spreads aggressively underground, producing clusters of tiny, knobby tubers that thrive even in poor soil. Once planted, it requires almost no care, returning year after year with a reliable harvest. Its resilience makes it perfect for anyone who wants abundance without effort. The tubers themselves are crunchy and slightly nutty, with a flavor often compared to water chestnuts. They can be eaten raw for a refreshing bite, lightly sautéed for a delicate side dish, or pickled to preserve their crispness. Nutritionally, Chinese artichokes provide fiber, antioxidants, and trace minerals, making them a wholesome addition to the diet. Their small size makes them easy to prepare, and their unique texture adds variety to meals. Historically, Chinese artichokes were prized in French cuisine, where they were considered a delicacy. Over time, they faded from mainstream agriculture, overshadowed by larger, more commercial crops. Yet their resilience never disappeared. Rediscovering Chinese artichokes today means embracing a vegetable that grows like a weed, spreads abundantly, and delivers a gourmet experience straight from the garden, all without demanding your attention. The Egyptian walking onion is one of the most fascinating forgotten vegetables, almost like a plant with a personality. Unlike ordinary onions that stay rooted in one spot, this variety walks across the garden. How? It produces clusters of small bulbils at the top of its stalks. When those bulbils become heavy, the stalk bends to the ground, and the bulbils take root, starting a new plant a few inches away. Over time, the onion literally marches across your garden, multiplying without any help from you. For the lazy gardener, this is pure magic, a vegetable that plants itself. Nutritionally, Egyptian walking onions are just as valuable as regular onions. They're rich in antioxidants, vitamin C, and compounds that support heart health and immunity. The bulbils can be used like pearl onions, while the green stalks are perfect for salads, stir-fries, or soups. Even the underground bulbs are edible, offering a sharp, oniony flavor. Historically, these onions were cultivated for their reliability and ability to propagate endlessly. They were a staple in cottage gardens, where self-sufficiency was key. Today, they remain largely forgotten, overshadowed by commercial onion varieties. Rediscovering them means embracing a vegetable that grows like a weed, feeds abundantly, and entertains with its quirky, self-spreading nature. Sorrel is a perennial green that has quietly thrived in cottage gardens for centuries, yet today it's often overlooked. For the lazy gardener, sorrel is a gift. Once planted, it comes back year after year, tolerating neglect, poor soil, and even drought. Its resilience makes it one of the easiest forgotten vegetables to grow, and its tangy, lemon-like flavor adds a refreshing twist to meals. Nutritionally, sorrel is packed with vitamin C, iron, and antioxidants, making it a natural immune booster. Its sharp taste comes from oxalic acid, which gives it a distinctive sourness. This makes sorrel perfect for soups, sauces, and salads, where it can brighten flavors without the need for added citrus. In French cuisine, sorrel soup is a classic, while in Eastern Europe, it's used to add zest to stews and broths. Historically, sorrel was a staple in medieval diets, valued for its ability to grow abundantly and provide fresh greens early in the season. Over time, it was overshadowed by spinach and lettuce, but its resilience never faded. Rediscovering sorrel today means embracing a plant that grows like a weed, nourishes like a superfood, and adds a burst of flavor to your garden harvest, all with minimal effort. Good King Henry is a vegetable with a royal name but a humble nature. Once a staple in cottage gardens across Europe, it has nearly disappeared from modern cultivation, yet remains one of the easiest and most rewarding plants for the lazy gardener. This perennial green thrives in poor soil, tolerates neglect, and returns year after year, offering a steady supply of edible leaves and shoots without demanding attention. The leaves of Good King Henry are similar to spinach, with a mild, earthy flavor that works beautifully in soups, sautés, or as a simple steam side. In spring, its young shoots can be harvested and eaten like asparagus, adding variety to your meals. Nutritionally, it's rich in iron, calcium, and vitamins A and C, making it a wholesome addition to the diet. Because it's perennial, you plant it once and enjoy harvest for years, making it a true lazy gardener's crop. Historically, this plant was valued by rural families who relied on hardy, self-sustaining vegetables. It was often grown near doorsteps, ready to be picked whenever needed. Over time, it was overshadowed by commercial spinach and asparagus, but its resilience never faded. Rediscovering good King Henry today means reconnecting with a forgotten tradition and embracing a vegetable that grows like a weed, nourishes abundantly, and asks for almost nothing in return. Sea kale is a hardy perennial that thrives along coastlines, yet has been largely forgotten in modern gardening. For the lazy gardener, it's a remarkable plant, resilient, ornamental, and edible. Once established, sea kale requires little care, tolerating salty winds, sandy soils, and neglect. Its ability to flourish in tough conditions makes it a perfect candidate for anyone seeking a self-sustaining garden. The plant produces thick, bluish-green leaves and striking white flowers, giving it an ornamental appeal. But its real treasure lies in the edible shoots, which appear in spring and can be harvested like asparagus. These shoots are tender, slightly nutty, and delicious when steamed or lightly sautéed. The leaves can also be eaten, though they are best cooked to soften their texture. Nutritionally, sea kale offers fiber, vitamins, and minerals, making it both nourishing and versatile. Historically, sea kale was cultivated in England during the 18th and 19th centuries, prized for its reliability and taste. It was a common sight in kitchen gardens, valued for its ability to return year after year. Over time, it faded from popularity, overshadowed by more commercial crops. Rediscovering sea kale today means embracing a plant that grows like a weed, decorates your garden beautifully, and feeds you abundantly, all with minimal effort. Chaya, often called the tree spinach, is a forgotten powerhouse from Central America that deserves a place in every lazy gardener's backyard. Unlike delicate greens that wilt in the summer sun, chaya thrives in heat, drought, and poor soil. Once planted, it grows into a hardy shrub that can reach several feet tall, producing an endless supply of edible leaves. For the gardener who doesn't want to fuss over watering or fertilizing, chaya is a miracle crop, resilient, abundant, and self-sustaining. Nutritionally, chaya is extraordinary. Its leaves are rich in protein, calcium, iron, and vitamins A and C, making them far more nourishing than many common greens. The catch is that chaya leaves must be cooked before eating, as raw leaves contain compounds that can be harmful. A quick boil or sauté removes these compounds, leaving behind a delicious, spinach-like flavor. Once prepared, chaya can be used in soups, stews, or simply served as a side dish. Historically, chaya was a staple in Mayan diets, valued for its ability to grow abundantly with little care. Today, it remains underappreciated outside its native regions. Rediscovering chaya means embracing a plant that grows like a weed, nourishes like a superfood, and offers a dependable source of greens year-round, all with minimal effort. Horseradish is one of those vegetables that thrives on neglect, making it perfect for the lazy gardener. This hardy perennial root spreads quickly underground, often so vigorously that it can take over a patch of soil if left unchecked. But that resilience is exactly what makes it valuable. Once planted, horseradish will return year after year, providing a reliable harvest with almost no effort. Its roots are famous for their sharp, pungent flavor, which has been used for centuries to add heat and depth to sauces, pickles, and condiments. Freshly grated horseradish packs a fiery punch, but it mellows when cooked, offering versatility in the kitchen. Nutritionally, horseradish is rich in vitamin C, calcium, potassium, and compounds with natural antibacterial properties, making it both flavorful and beneficial for health. Historically, horseradish was cultivated in Europe as both food and medicine. It was valued for its ability to stimulate digestion and fight infections, while also serving as a staple condiment for meats and fish. Today, it remains underappreciated outside of traditional cuisines, overshadowed by more common spices. Rediscovering horseradish means embracing a plant that grows like a weed, nourishes with hidden health benefits, and adds bold flavor to your meals, all while asking for almost nothing in return. Malabar spinach is not a true spinach, but for the lazy gardener, it's even better. Native to tropical Asia, this vigorous climbing vine thrives in hot, humid conditions where ordinary spinach wilts and fails. Once planted, it grows rapidly, twining up trellises, fences, or even other plants, creating a lush green wall of edible leaves. Its resilience and ability to self-seed make it a dependable crop that asks for very little care. The leaves are thick, glossy, and slightly mucilaginous, giving them a unique texture. They can be eaten raw in salads for a mild, peppery flavor, or cooked in soups and stews where they add body and richness. Nutritionally, Malabar spinach is packed with vitamins A and C, iron, and calcium, making it a nourishing addition to the diet. Unlike regular spinach, which bolts quickly in summer heat, Malabar spinach thrives in the hottest months, ensuring a steady supply of greens when other crops fade. Historically, it has been cultivated across Asia for centuries, valued for its reliability and abundance. Today, it remains underappreciated outside tropical regions, yet it's one of the easiest forgotten vegetables to grow. Rediscovering Malabar spinach means embracing a plant that climbs like a vine, nourishes like a superfood, and decorates your garden with lush greenery, all with minimal effort. Perilla, often called shiso in Japan, is a forgotten herb that deserves revival in modern gardens. This hardy annual thrives in warm climates, reseeds itself generously, and requires little care once established. For the lazy gardener, perilla is a gift. Plant it once, and it will return year after year, filling your garden with aromatic leaves that are both ornamental and edible. The leaves are broad, vibrant, and come in shades of green or deep purple, adding beauty to any garden bed. Flavor-wise, perilla is unique, a mix of mint, basil, and anise, with a refreshing complexity that elevates dishes. In Japanese cuisine, shiso is used to wrap sushi, garnish soups, or flavor pickles. In Korean cooking, perilla leaves are often used to wrap rice and meat, adding fragrance and depth. Nutritionally, perilla is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and vitamins A and C, making it a nourishing herb as well as a culinary delight. Historically, perilla was cultivated across Asia for both food and medicine. Its seeds were pressed for oil, while its leaves were valued for their flavor and health benefits. Over time, it became overshadowed by more common herbs like mint and basil. Rediscovering perilla today means embracing a plant that grows like a weed, nourishes like a superfood, and transforms simple meals into gourmet experiences, all with minimal effort. Lovage is a forgotten perennial herb that once held pride of place in medieval kitchen gardens. For the lazy gardener, it's a dream plant, hardy, self-sustaining, and capable of thriving in poor soil with little care. Once established, lovage grows tall and vigorous, returning year after year without replanting. Its towering stalks and lush leaves make it both ornamental and practical, offering a steady supply of flavor and nutrition with minimal effort. The taste of lovage is bold and distinctive, often described as a stronger, more aromatic version of celery. Its leaves can be used fresh in soups, stews, and salads, while its stalks and seeds add depth to broths and pickles. Nutritionally, lovage is rich in vitamin C, iron, and antioxidants, making it more than just a flavoring herb. It's a nourishing addition to the diet. Historically, lovage was a staple in European cooking and medicine. It was valued for its digestive benefits and used to flavor hearty dishes when salt and spices were scarce. Over time, it was overshadowed by celery and parsley, but its resilience never faded. Rediscovering lovage today means embracing a plant that grows like a weed, flavors like a spice rack, and nourishes like a superfood, all while asking for almost nothing in return. OCA, often called the New Zealand yam, is a vibrant and resilient root crop that deserves far more attention than it gets. Native to the Andes, OCA was a staple food for centuries, valued for its ability to thrive in poor soils and harsh climates. For the lazy gardener, it's a perfect choice. Plant it once, give it minimal care, and by late autumn you'll be rewarded with a colorful harvest of tubers in shades of red, orange, and yellow. The flavor of OCA is tangy and slightly lemony when eaten raw, but it mellows into a nutty, potato-like taste when cooked. This versatility makes it a delightful addition to soups, roasts, or even salads. Nutritionally, OCEA is rich in carbohydrates, vitamin C, and iron, offering both energy and nourishment. Unlike potatoes, OCEA is naturally pest-resistant and doesn't demand fertilizers, making it a low-maintenance crop that practically grows itself. Historically, OCEA was cultivated alongside potatoes in the Andes, providing food security for indigenous communities. It was later introduced to New Zealand, where it became a beloved garden crop. Over time, however, it faded from mainstream agriculture. Rediscovering OCEA today means embracing a vegetable that grows like a weed, nourishes abundantly, and adds a splash of color and flavor to your harvest, all with minimal effort. As we reach the end of this journey through 20 forgotten vegetables, one thing becomes clear. Nature has already given us a treasure chest of resilient, self-sustaining plants that thrive on neglect. From the quirky Egyptian walking onion to the colorful OCEA, each of these crops proves that gardening doesn't have to be complicated or exhausting. With the right choices, your garden can become a living pantry that replenishes itself year after year. These vegetables are more than just food, they are living history. They connect us to traditions of self-reliance, to cultures that valued abundance without waste, and to a way of life where the garden was both sustenance and sanctuary. By rediscovering them, you're not only feeding yourself, but also reviving a legacy that modern agriculture has nearly erased. So, whether you plant Jerusalem artichokes for their endless tubers, sorrel for its tangy greens, or chaya for its superfood leaves, remember, the lazy gardener's goldmine isn't about doing less. It's about letting nature do more. Seedling final thought, your garden doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be alive. And with these forgotten vegetables, it will be abundant, resilient, and endlessly rewarding.